Many farmed fish are fed fish oil made from wild-caught sea creatures. I'm not saying this, we all have heard stuff like that. But did you know it takes several kilograms of wild fish to produce just 1 kilogram of farmed fish? If this is true, I'd probably never consume seafood again. Man, it's so unfair. Anyways, I want you to come with me to see if it's all true, if the catfishes are really feeding fish oil. Fingers crossed. Talking about catfishes, they are actually nest builders in nature. They naturally like to lay their eggs in dark hidden spots like underwater logs or small caves. That's why the farmers mimic their ponds to be close to the natural ones. What's more surprising is their food. They said that the baby catfish are fed high-protein fish food made from soybeans, corn, and vitamins. In order to feed thousands of fishes at once, they need those vehicles to spread their food thoroughly. By this method, they spread the feed at exactly the right time and in the exact amount the fish need. They have these aerators, giant paddle wheels that spin on the water surface to keep oxygen levels high. Without them, the catfish would suffocate, especially during hot summer months. Many famous catfish farms usually raise their fish for about 18 to 24 months until they reach the perfect size, which is around 1.5 to 2 pounds per fish. You know, each pond is stocked with different amounts of catfish depending on the time of year. During cooler months, they keep fewer fish in each pond, so the fish have more space to grow. In warmer months, they can stock more fish because catfish eat and grow faster in warmer water. When it's harvest time, workers spread out huge seine nets across the pond. Slowly, they pull the nets tighter and tighter, gathering all the fish into one small area. They only harvest fish early in the morning or late in the evening, never in the middle of the day. That's because catfish are much calmer in cooler water temperatures. Once the tanks are full, the fish are transported straight from the ponds to the processing plant, usually within just a few hours. Inside the plant, the catfish go through a resting period before processing further in large holding tanks filled with chilled, flowing water. Of course, they need to be healthy, so once again they are fed with their nutrient-rich food. In order to proceed further, the lab scientists experiment the water with some stunning solutions, so the catfishes stay relieved when they are being processed. Those solutions are not even 1% harmful. They just make sure the fishes are resting well, but numbed, and the further procedures also take place in a matter of seconds. The catfishes are sent to the further stations from where they get cleaned. Now the catfish go through an automatic gill cutting machine, which makes a precise cut at the base of the gills. Right after that, the fish are sent straight into icy boxes where their body temperature drops fast to lock in freshness. From the moment the fish is stunned to the moment it's fully cleaned and ready for slicing, the whole process takes just 30 minutes. Even for skinless fillets, the fish's belly is always cut by hand or even with a machine, but with a V-shaped knife instead of a straight cut. This technique helps the fish cook more evenly and gives it a cleaner look when plated. What's interesting is that catfish are one of the most sustainable fish species in the world to farm. They grow fast, need less feed compared to other fish, and can be raised without damaging the environment. The fillets travel on a conveyor belt through freezing tunnels set at -40 degrees Fahrenheit, where cold air blasts over the fish and freezes each fillet separately within 5 to 7 minutes. Freezing each fillet individually means they won't stick together in the package, and they'll thaw out faster at home. But they are going to become catfish nuggets, the bite-sized chunks of meat cut from the thickest parts of the fish, usually from the belly and tail sections. Nuggets come from the same high-quality catfish, just in smaller pieces. So, did you like it now? Every year, over 300 million tennis balls are used in games and tournaments around the world. Let's see how rubber is transformed into the iconic green balls. It all starts with the raw materials. To make a tennis ball, the factory needs rubber and felt. Rubber gives the ball its bounce, while felt provides the texture and color. Big rolls of rubber are the foundation of every tennis ball. This rubber is mixed with special ingredients to make it strong and bouncy. Once we have our rubber pieces ready, we need to shape them into tennis balls. To do this, they use metal molds that are designed to give rubber its spherical shape. These people are so smart, they have first shaped the rubber into a sheet with molds which will later be cut into smaller chunks. One more important thing, they are going to do some finishing by grinding the ball halves to make sure they're even before putting some stiffened glue to secure halves and make the perfect ball. After the rubber cores have been molded and glued to make a proper ball, they need to cool them down. The hot, newly molded balls are taken out of the molds and left to cool down. Meanwhile, the pool of fresh glue is all set so the balls would dip into it and get the glue all over them. The balls are ready for their felt cover, which basically is the outer layer of a tennis ball. Yeah, that green cover. Large sheets of felt are carefully cut into precise shapes. The cutting machines ensure that every piece is in the right size and shape. This felt will create the iconic fuzzy cover of the ball. The adhesive used must be strong enough to hold the felt in place during intense play, while remaining flexible to avoid affecting the ball's bounce. The prepared felt pieces are glued onto the rubber core. This step is done with great care to ensure the felt is evenly distributed and securely attached. These machines are used to stiffen the green wrap onto the balls firmly, so they make sure your tennis balls are worth buying. After the rubber cores are all set and covered in felt, the balls go into the super cool pressurized chamber, so they wouldn't be too flat or too stiff. Basically, it's all about getting that perfect bounce, so the balls will play just like they are supposed to. Without that pressurization, the balls wouldn't bounce correctly. Once the balls are pumped up to their ideal pressure, they are sealed into these airtight containers. The containers keep the balls from losing any air before they reach the store or local tennis court. It's super important because if the balls lost pressure, they wouldn't perform as well. Each step is essential to create a tennis ball that's durable, bouncy, and ready for the game. Gingerbread. Just the word alone is enough to get us dreaming of cozy winter nights, the scent of warm spices filling the air, and the sparkle of Christmas decorations all around. But what happens when we take a step back and think about how this most awaited festive treat is made on a grand scale? Let us show you around some inside scenes from a gingerbread house factory. Yup, its factory does exist. So far, you've seen the gingerbread dough mixture being prepped, and I don't need to tell you that we're not dealing with small bags or little jars here. We're talking about tons of flour, buckets of molasses, and huge vats of butter. Thickness is everything in gingerbread manufacturing. Too thin, and the pieces become fragile, prone to breaking. Too thick, and the structural integrity of the final gingerbread house becomes compromised. So let these machines take care of shaping here. They're designed to perfectly shape each part of the gingerbread house, the walls, roof, and maybe even those little windows and doors you can decorate. Baking the dough immediately is also an important step in making sure the gingerbread comes out of the oven perfectly crispy and shaped and just right. And no one wants a gingerbread blob instead of a house, right? So these ovens are designed to bake the dough evenly with the perfect balance of heat and timing. Remember how that dough was once a soft, squishy mass, and now it's hardening and taking form. About these cookies. So, this is the official season for stars, snowflakes, reindeer, and gingerbread men. Those cutters must be really sharp and precise, as we can see how beautifully these cookies come out. Ah, good question. Not all Christmas cookies are made from gingerbread material, but many of the classic holiday shapes, like gingerbread men and houses, are, in fact, made from gingerbread dough. People bake them in all sorts of fun shapes, decorate them with icing, and share them with friends and family. Now the thing that's going to hold this gingerbread house together and make it look so much cooler than it would without it is the royal icing. Yeah, it's named royal for a reason. It's sweet, sticky, and essential for building a gingerbread masterpiece. This stuff is the sweet and sturdy glue that holds it all together, literally. People often bake batches to give as gifts, and this is a perfectly time-saving way of spreading happiness. Hey, did your gingerbread house ever look completed without those colorful, shiny Skittles on them? I bet no. Don't worry, these Skittles are all set to change the game. Marshmallows are those fluffy little bites of sweetness that melt in your mouth and are perfect for decorating your gingerbread house, or just snacking on as you build it. Let's talk about something that adds a pop of color and fun to any gingerbread house: mixed colorful cake sprinkles. These little bits of sweetness might seem simple, but they're the finishing touch that makes your holiday creations truly come to life. And we're here to see how those factories make them on massive scales. Instead of cutting into small pieces, sprinkles are made using an extruder machine. At this stage, the sprinkles are placed in rotating drums, and edible food-safe dyes are added. The drums rotate to evenly coat the sprinkles with color, giving them their vibrant look. They're all set to get packed and sealed, so we can utilize them while decorating our most beloved gingerbread house. After all, it's Christmas. Now those lovely and vibrant candy canes are gonna come to life. Yes, it's true. Candy canes, those iconic, curved, striped candies that scream Christmas, are a fun and essential part of holiday decorating, especially when it comes to gingerbread houses. Once the syrup is ready, it's divided into separate batches for coloring and, of course, proper kneading. The candy is stretched out into long ropes, and as the ropes become longer and thinner, they're twisted together to form the red and white stripe pattern. Their slender shape, sweet chocolate coating, and versatility make them ideal for adding decorative details to a gingerbread house. Yes, we're talking about the Pocky sticks. Those crunchy long sticks are just perfect to give the finishing look to gingerbread roofs and windows, don't you think? These tiny snail-shaped gummies aren't just for snacking. They make the perfect, colorful decorations that'll turn your gingerbread house into a sugary work of art. Here's how these adorable candies are made from start to finish, with each twist and turn in the process, designed to make them soft, chewy, and ready to stick onto your holiday masterpiece. These molds are custom designed to give each gummy its signature spiral shell and soft, curved body. To give these gummies that satisfying chewy bite, and to prevent them from sticking to each other, they're often coated with a fine layer of cornstarch or powdered sugar. This helps keep the gummies separated. the bright sweet candies that make everything just a little bit more festive, especially when they're used to decorate those gorgeous Christmas gingerbread houses. So, how do these vibrant treats go from being a simple sugar mixture to the perfect candy decoration for a holiday house? We're gonna break it down, but I want you to stay with me, as it's really gonna be amazing, and I don't want you to regret it later. I would really appreciate you watching the video till the end, because there are more surprises coming ahead, and all I want is you to enjoy some fun time because it's holiday season.